cases. That's what I'm going to do. I guess we are live. Oh, video is starting. Live video starting. Good evening. It is Grandpa David, and tonight's Facebook Live is totally extemporaneous. It was unplanned. I am I'm doing something new tonight that I have. Well, first, I don't do many live broadcasts, live streaming after 2 or 3 o'clock. So that's the first. But I'm actually testing some video technology tonight, and we are doing our Facebook Live on my Mac, my new Mac, or relatively new Mac, and I am creating a YouTube over here with my camera facing this screen, and it looks like it looks okay. I don't know how it's going to look as a finished product, but we'll check that out. So I just wanted to test some things out tonight. How I actually how my body chemistry is to do a recording at 6 o'clock, but wanted to share. Okay, we were having a family discussion over the weekend. that is my youngest granddaughter, and that my youngest grandson, uh, Ari. And they actually weren't together in that picture, but I think one of their mothers cropped that picture and put it together. And I also 2 weeks ago got an iPhone uh, again after 10 years not having. And one of the really nice thing is my kids in Columbus and New York, they can take pictures of my grandchildren, and it's the minute they take it, it goes into an album, and at that moment, it comes right to me on my iPhone. Doesn't get any better than that. So the discussion we were having, interfamily discussion this weekend, the two of them, I'll show you their picture one more time. Oh, darn, that's not what I want. I can't make it big. Well, here's their picture. I can't. Uh, they are once apart in age. They have different fathers. Uh, Ari's father is my oldest son, and Emery's father is my youngest son. The comment that one of my two daughter-in-laws made, uh, I think I know which one it was. Must have been Sarah. Said that, well, we know they're cousins, but are they twins? And the comment was, well, they have the Leopold face. And that was kind of funny. So they're not twins, but they've got the Leopold face. I forgot to ask Sarah um, if that's a good thing or a bad thing to have a Leopold face. But I will see Sarah this weekend, and I will ask her then. So that was you can vote on it if you'd like. Uh, I was rummaging through. Well, I've been doing a lot of rearranging, uh, looking at the boxes that I haven't looked into for some time, and I found something on the exercise side of things that I'd like to share with you because it's something uh, good for you to know or have an understanding of, particularly if you do your exercising in your home, you're out of a class, not an instructor in the room, et cetera, et cetera. But a lot of times I haven't found too many instructors that actually talk about these things, but they are very important to me, and because of the cardiovascular training that I bring to my exercise routines. Uh, I have done some really wonderful things with my heart, and totally to exercise. So it's fun to talk about it. But one of the things as you exercise, and this was something that probably makes more sense to a baby boomer, someone who took silver sneakers, for example. It happens to be a silver sneakers chart, and it's called the perceived exertion chart. And there are numbers, there's actually 4 color codes, numbers 1 through 10. And as the individual, as you are going through your exercise routine, it's important for you to have a perceived understanding of uh, how much energy you're exerting. Is there energy left to exert? Now, I haven't been, quite honestly, a big proponent of that aspect. Rather, what I have done over the years is important for the individual to understand their heart rate, and their heart rate being increased and their heart rate decreasing. This that essentially is what exercise is all about, is to challenge your heart. So I developed a routine. Actually, I started developing it in 2009, to be exact, because I had a traumatic brain injury in 2009, and it was all caused because of my heart not performing as it is supposed to perform. So once we got all of that under control and an understanding of exactly what was going on, I started to develop an exercise, and it worked. In a period, I was able to double the strength of my heart muscles in a 7 year period. My cardiologist is taken. He just can't figure out how somebody my age at the time could double the strength of their heart muscles in a 7 year period. But it's data, it's science, there's data points. But the one thing also I wanted to share with you, more importantly, what I wanted to share with you is for you to have an understanding of your maximum heart rate. And obviously, that is something that you should achieve as you are doing an exercise routine. Uh, how much, how high can you get your heart rate? But having said that, you have to be very careful, because you can't stay at that maximum. Uh, you don't want to stay at that maximum for longer than a couple seconds, really. But it is important to know how hard you're able to work yourself, work your heart in doing exercise. So there is a chart. Uh, I probably should. This is the chart right there. I probably should post it someplace. But essentially, to determine your maximum heart rate, if you take 220, the number 220, subtract your age, that essentially is your maximum heart rate. It's pretty scientific. It's pretty scientific. It's a challenge, of course, because there's the individuality that each of us brings uh, to our heart rate, and how our heart reacts to different situations. But you absolutely can train your heart. And in your exercise, I found that stressing the heart, stress tests that some folks take in their lifetime, uh, stressing your heart is really a good thing. But as you take your heart rate up, it's important to also be able to drop your heart rate. That really, the dropping of your heart rate really tells you how strong your heart is. We can all do various things to elevate our heart rates. We can go out and run, we can jump up and down, we can jump rope, uh, we can dance. Dancing is a great thing for seniors to do to elevate their heart rate. And who doesn't like to dance? Well, actually, I did a Facebook Live. It was a couple of Saturdays ago, maybe 2 or 3 Saturdays ago, where I did a 15-minute dance routine for basically anybody can do it, but I had seniors in mind, obviously, because that's where I have my most information. But I'm not going to go into detail right now. If you want to learn more about it, message me, send a message in Messenger, and I will guide you and tell you, where to go to get information. But the essential thing to know is when you take 220 minus your age. So in my case, my maximum would be 220 minus 72, which is what, 148. 148 is my maximum. Um, uh, I don't know if I could get my heart to 148 today. I might, but I've had heart issues, and it's not important how high I can really get my heart rate today. The important thing is taking it to whatever level I want to take it, then dropping it back. Now, I started to say, but I didn't finish, how quickly you can go from a high. If I were exercising it, I got my heart rate up to 148, and in the next minute, next 60 seconds, if I could drop that heart rate from one, just resting, no exertion, just letting your heart rate drop. If I could drop it 20 beats to 128, my heart would be considered to be in very good condition. I know I can do that part of it. I know I can drop my heart rate once I get it to a level. So the thing that you might want to ask me about later on, um, this chart here, it gives your age, and it tells you how many heartbeats um, you should have if you want to be operating at 55% of your capacity, 60%, 70%, 80%, 85%. My comment to make on that is if you can work out, if you can get your heart rate, if you can work out at 75% of your maximum heart rate, and this isn't necessarily the case for seniors, that's a different story, but just someone 40s, 50s, uh, if you're exercising and you want to be able to drop your heart rate or work towards it to get to that dropping at 20 beats. But your body does different things. Increase your heart rate and work closer towards your maximum. Um, when I was in my absolute best uh, heart form, uh, I was able to get my heart rate up to 180, which um, over 160, and um, I should not been doing it. That I wanted to see how high I could take my heart rate. Uh, I quickly came back, got dropped the rate. But and this is the idea that I want to leave you with. If you are a senior, uh, doing exercise routines, something that you follow, to go to a class, watch a video, whatever it might be. Um, that's good. But I am a big proponent of creating the physical activity for yourself. If you go back to that Facebook Live I did a couple of weeks ago, I was working out with resistance band. Resistance bands are the absolute very best. Here we go again. I'm getting a Facebook Live too low FPS. I've got to check that out because it's first in a while, and that was happening on another. It was happening on this computer, not on my Mac. So I got to figure that out. Anyways, if I can be of any help, you have any questions about uh, exercise, please let me know. Actually, too, I didn't mention this is day what, 70, almost day 80. Tomorrow might be day 80 of a new transformation that I made 80 days ago. Instead of sleeping 6 hours and being up and potentially being able to eat or put food in my mouth for 18 hours, was the old lifestyle. My new lifestyle is I still sleep the 6 hours, actually, sleeping more than that, taking naps, but doing the 6 hour sleep, and then I'm not eating anything, not eating any food for the next 18 hours. And my son, 81 days ago, my son living in Columbus, who was doing this, I guess it's called it's fasting. Uh, I He never presented it to me uh, that way. Uh, he simply said, "Dad, here's what I'm doing. Here's what's happening to me. I think maybe you should try it." And I absolutely uh, needed to lose a lot of pounds. Um, Whole nother story, but uh, I was not entering the whole thing. Um, Saying, "Oh, I got to lose 25 pounds, and I got to watch. I got to get on a scale to see what's happening." I don't even own a scale. I I don't. I mean, I don't. I don't know. I do not know what I weigh right now. I can make an intelligent guess at what I weigh based upon what I weighed 10 weeks ago in my. Um, I absolutely know inches that I can tell very easily, just the way I move. My knee, which I have arthritis in my knee, as uh, a lot of baby boomers do. And in the past, has bothered me a lot. Last 3 weeks is the best my knee has felt in 5 years. And I attribute that almost 100% to I'm not carrying as much weight around. I'm not putting that weight on the pressure on my knee. And, excuse me, and working out and working the muscles around the knee. But it's working. I knew 30 hours into, I knew in the first 30 hours that I was doing this routine, that it was the right thing for me to do. And it has not been difficult for me to do it all. The interesting challenge I have right now is those 6 hours that I eat. What should I eat in those 6 hours? Uh, I want to make sure that I get all the things in my body that I wanted to get in, things that we enjoy eating, et cetera, et cetera. So that has been the interesting challenge. But I mean, I can say two things unequivocally. Number one, uh, I don't have this big desire to eat. I mean, that's what's happening. And the other thing that's been extremely interesting is that I used to very quickly label myself a chocoholic, love chocolate. I don't know if I love it. Well, I have not tasted chocolate since I began this whole process 81 days ago. That is the most amazing thing to me. And I don't even have it's not even tempting to me to taste some chocolate. So that's pretty interesting that it was able to. Two things, ideas I want to leave you with. I have always said that we eat more with our minds, our brains, our eyes than we do with our bodies. We put more food stuff in our bodies than we absolutely need. There's no question about that. So it all begins, it's a mind process. And once you train your mind to do what it is that you want to do, the mind will take care of the body. I guess that's how those things work. YouTube's still going. Okay, so one last thing, I guess. In my business, I'm going into a very, very exciting stage. For the last 18 plus months, I have been building when I started 18 months ago, I knew what I wanted to do. I absolutely did not know how I wanted to get there or how. So I started working, whatever, and it's taken me 18 months to get comfortable to where I am today and what it is that I want to do. To that end, made a list this morning or yesterday. As soon as let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9. As soon as I get 8 or 9 web landing pages to where I exactly want them, which will that's a couple hours work. That's where I am right now with them. It's just in a couple hours I get it squared away. Then I will start to. I built a marketing platform of what it is that I want to do. Now I begin the sales part of the formula. And that has always been a favorite thing of mine to do over the years. I've been very blessed in the hundreds of business projects in the last 50 years. You have to do your marketing, but nothing means anything unless you can sell what it is that you want to sell. And I began a one-on-one selling process this week where I pick a targeted organization, a targeted company that I want that can do well with the system that I have created, and they become the folks that I build that trust and build the business relationship and make the sale and move on. That process, I've been away from that process for a long time, and I'm very, very excited about reigniting that process. So that's it. I will take a look at the YouTube that I have created to see if it's it's an interesting effect, if it worked. They definitely could hear me. Uh, I'm hoping that the camera will help them see me, but if not, it becomes a podcast. If they can't see me, but they can hear me, it's a podcast. Yay! I've got my own technology. Podcast technology. That's it. We will see you soon, hopefully. And as my friend Jaime Williams used to say, we'll see you the next time, which may very well be the best time. We'll see you then.